anyway. The tax queen also wants the largest small business tax hike in history and a 33% tax hike on American small businesses, which will send consumer prices skyrocketing. You think they're bad now? If Kamala gets 4 more years, she will crush family budgets with crippling energy costs thanks to her Green New Scam.
Okay, did you hear that? Former President Trump has a brand new nickname for Kamala Harris, Tax Queen. She literally wants $4 trillion to $5 trillion in new taxes. She's going to hit small businesses with higher taxes. It's on top of inflation. We're in a job slowdown. ADP employment report today, slightly better than expected increase in jobs, but it's just at 143,000 for the month of September. Job growth is flatlining under Biden-Harris. The problem is stagflation. That's what Wall Street worries about. Let's bring in Trump 2024 National Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. Karoline, always a pleasure. Wonderful to see you again. Can you talk to us more about President Trump's new economic agenda to make America affordable again? How Trump says he's going to bring back to America manufacturing jobs that he says have been siphoned away to foreign nations under Biden and Harris. How is he going to bring all that production, means of production, back home?
Well, absolutely. President Trump has a real plan to make America the manufacturing superpower of the world again. He is promising companies abroad, as long as they make their products here in the USA and hire American workers, they will have the lowest taxes in the world. They will have the lowest regulatory burden. They will have access to the biggest market on the planet, and they will have the lowest regulation on their companies here at home. President Trump is also going to appoint a manufacturing ambassador in his second term, whose sole job is to travel around the world and recruit companies to come here in America, make their products here in the United States, and again, hire American workers. This is a sharp contrast to Kamala Harris, who wants to raise the corporate tax rate to 28%.
What's the tax rate? What's the tax rate he's talking about offering these manufacturers?
15%, which is even lower than, of course, was the 21% which he signed into law in his first term with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Not only does Kamala Harris not want to make those tax cuts permanent, which would raise taxes on working families and small businesses and large companies that employ Americans, she wants to increase it even more, which is going to decrease competition here at home. So President Trump's going to decrease that corporate tax rate to 15%. But again, Liz, only for companies that hire American workers, make their products here in the USA. That's going to incentivize job growth here in the United States. Kamala's tax queen plan is going to incentivize job growth in communist China and countries abroad.
Well, you know, just show the polls. CNN has Trump gaining among working class voters. Show the polls he's gaining more than any other GOP candidate in recent decades. He's swept, he did sweep the Rust Belt states of Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. They usually lean Democrat. He lost them in 2020. He's cutting into Kamala Harris's lead here with blue collar, working class voters. The big story is people not talking about is a manufacturing bust under Biden and Harris. U.S. manufacturing output now lower than it was in 2013. It's been flat for 2 years, despite the tens of billions of dollars Biden and Harris threw at it in the Inflation Reduction Act. The U.S. added only 232,000 new manufacturing jobs since March 2020. That's less than a third of what Biden has been claiming. I mean, now we could see manufacturing jobs expected to disappoint again in the new jobs report this Friday for September.
Well, these polls about union workers speak volumes. President Trump has single-handedly transformed the Republican Party into the party of the working man and the working woman. Kamala Harris is lagging behind where Joe Biden was with union workers in 2020, and this is a key demographic to the Democrats' success. She is not going to keep up, though, because union workers are fed up with the Democrat Party. They have sold them out for years. President Trump put more money back in their pockets when he was their president. He leveraged the power of the United States to negotiate good trade deals around the world to protect American jobs, and he'll do it again in his second term.
Karoline Leavitt, great to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.